territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
23 yards, the final tally.
And the Buccaneers. Check. 8.
From the 50, Newton. And that'll be incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find the silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Flush to his right. And that's incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Off play action. Bryant. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Bryant. That's caught. It's Thomas. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. The final shot before break. Bryant looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas as time expires in the first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Room to run again. And finally brought down at the 38. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Off the play fake, Bryant. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. That grab another career milestone for him. 900 career catches now.
All right, the applause is beginning, right? The applause is going on. That puts him just outside the top 20 all-time in the NFL. Next in his sights at 903, Wes Welker.
Rarefied air. From the 45 on 2nd down. Newton, that's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. To throw on 3rd down. Newton, and that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal. of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now Joe Mixon, and he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Now, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
So that's going to push him back half the distance. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Bryant looking long for Thomas. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. 80. 180.
No chance. That's it.
Newton on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
47. Gun.
Check, 47.
Out of the gun, Newton. Gonna let one fly. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Allen Robinson. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one taken from the 7. And he's going to get taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
At their own 8-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, Bryant. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. On first down, it's Newton. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Marcus Williams. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Shut down. Motion, check. Shift. 57's Mike.
Mixon with it. And an alley to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
The Saints on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. James now to return. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw, Newton. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. pass hauled in downfield. Julio Jones all alone. And he's across for the touch. Down, too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Mixon. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Newton toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Newton. Now a desperation throw deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hey, we got 3 down. Watch 42.
And they will take a knee here. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Here's Thomas Morstead now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
One last throw here for Newton. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they could look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for New Orleans, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA.